safest parts. The best city in the whole world. Our small London. How many of you here have been privileged to visit Jos? I'm sure you can testify that Jos is our small London. Please put your hands together for the city of Jos. I'm very excited to be here this morning. I want to say a big thank you to our CM. I usually call Emma our mother. She's the mother of everybody in A2W. How many of you agree with me? Please put your hands together for Emma. She's truly a mother. I have my platinums here. My grandmother is here. Ben is my grandmother. She's the platinum of my platinum in Jos. Please put your hands together for her. Emeka, the Akarandos, Matthew Abolori, Solomon J, Usayo, so many other people. Thank you very much. I'm truly excited to be standing before you this morning. Now we're going to look at something. Usayo started by saying, let's go back to school. And I truly want us to go back to school because what we're about to look at today is something that if we put in everything with God, it will take us very far. It will help us to generate the motivation that Diolu talked about, the downward motivation. It will be able to help us to do that. I want us to talk about change. Winning your personal victory to get more. Winning your personal victory. In Avenues to Wealth, when you come on board, usually we're not looking at our personal victory. We're looking at people we want to throw blames on. But we need to be able to look at how we can get our personal victory in Avenues to Wealth. The exciting thing about this opportunity is that I tell people that we are independent marketers. We are independent marketers. So if you're coming on board Avenues to Wealth, it's all about you. If you look at all the napkin presentations, it's all talking about I. It's talking about you as an individual. I have something very funny here. Now, we usually say this a lot in Jos. I want you to turn around and tell your neighbor that how you do one thing. No, you need to say it like the Lagos people. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. My question to you this morning is that how are you running your Avenues to Wealth business? How are you running the network of Avenues to Wealth? Because it's a reflection of what you're doing in your other businesses before you joined Avenues to Wealth. Correct. For people who are successful, who are doing so well in Avenues to Wealth, check out their private businesses. They are doing very well. So how you do one thing, since this seminar started, the CMs are hosting me. But guess what? Me and Emma, we used to say good morning here. Because before she leaves her room, I'm already here. A lot of us are strolling into this event. Last year, when we held an event like this, we paid how much? 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira. I was there, but this is free. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. Where else is lateness showing in your life? Where else is lack of taking responsibility showing in your life? So by the time you leave this seminar, this training, this week, I want you to always tell yourself that how I do one thing is how I do everything. I would love for us to have a paradigm shift as we look at the 7 habits. My husband will usually say, put your hands on your head like this. Just do it like me. Put it on your head. And then do as if you're removing one heavy cap. Just remove it and keep it on the floor. Let's all remove them. Keep your caps on the floor because we need to learn new things this morning. Now, the 7 habits. Let's look at the introduction to the 7 habits. Habits defined. I sat down and I was just looking at habit. We say it every day. Do we really know what habit is? It's her habit. It's his habit. And because I'm privileged to be married to a man who read neuro-linguistic programming, he's always talking about programming. Everything is programming. And I discovered that habit is what we acquire. It's an acquired behavior. We were not born with the habit we have today. They are all acquired. Either they are positive or negative habits. They are acquired, and they are, they are patterns. Patterns are things that happens repeatedly. They are acquired behavior, acquired patterns that it becomes almost involuntary. You just do it without knowing it. You do it without knowing it. So as we're talking about these habits, these are habits that we will need to train ourselves to acquire them so we can run with them effectively, involuntarily, without knowing that we're even doing the right thing. But because we're here today, I'm sure we'll start doing much more concerning our habit. It's also a settled or a regular tendency to practice things. So what we're doing here today, we're going to practice. Now, I'll quickly go through the habits. I have something very funny here. Now, this is 2 bowls with water, glass bowls, and then we have a fish here and another one. But I will need somebody to come. Let's use human to demonstrate this. I need a volunteer, 1 person. Uncle Matthew, please come. Since they are not volunteering, please put your hands together for Uncle Matthew. The first habit says you need to be proactive. And if we look at this, I want to demonstrate it with Matthew Abolorin this morning. Now imagine that Matthew is my father. I said imagine. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
We know. Yeah, so Matthew is my father. And truly he's my father, sir. The day I joined Avenues to Well, you guys were doing the Leadership Academy in Jos. It was Matthew that signed me in. So can you see? Okay, so this is my father. And then I'm holding on to him because that's what lots of us are doing in Avenues to Well. So I need to be proactive. I need to be proactive. But my father is here. I need to be proactive, but my upline is here. I'm carrying my father everywhere. I want you to know that nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. For us to be proactive, we need to get to the point where we need to start taking responsibility. Responsibility. So you come on board Avenues to Well, and then you're holding on to your upline. I am not successful because of my father. Since I joined Avenues to Well 6 months ago, in fact some people 2 years, I haven't earned anything because of my upline. I am not successful because of my upline. I am not successful because they didn't teach me. There is something I see on Avenues to Well Unlimited, and Bumi from Abuja, said something. He said, people will ask, please, can somebody tell me the meeting venue, the meeting place in Ilorin? Can somebody send me, where is the meeting place in Onitsha? Where is the meeting place in Jos? Hello? We talked about leadership yesterday. And if you are proactive, you need to take responsibility. You need to step in leadership. Because we said yesterday that leadership is influence. So my father is here. I want to join my people to the right, but I can't move because he's holding me. But you see, people who are proactive are people who are willing to say, well, I don't care about you, my upline. I am ready to take responsibility. I am ready to move on. I'm ready to be responsible to myself. Turn around and tell your neighbor that I am responsible. Thank you, sir. It's about taking responsibility for your life. We can't keep blaming everybody. We can't keep blaming everyone except ourselves. We can't keep blaming people. You need to take responsibility and tell yourself that it is my responsibility to move my business to the next level. It is my responsibility to create passive income that when I'm retired, I'll just be traveling everywhere in the world. It is your responsibility to do that. So you need to be proactive. Now let's look at these things quickly. Social mirror. Your mirror, you need to look at yourself, because a lot of us were where we are today, not because of anybody. I like what CM usually say, that you don't have enemies. You are your own enemy. So you need to be able to look at how you can take responsibility for yourself to move on to your next level. You know, there's a difference between stimulus and response. If I clap my hands, if this was an empty room, between clapping my hands and the sound you hear, there's a gap. What do you do in between that gap? Somebody brought you on board Avenues to Wealth, and the person is no longer doing the business. What do you do with that gap that has been created? You need to be able to step up. You need to be able to step up to your next level. You know, proactivity. So many of us are reactive. We are waiting to see what is not working so that we can talk about it. Can you be proactive? Instead of waiting to be reactive. Today, you people call it BH, so let me use BH here. I'm telling you that you're privileged. If this meeting was happening in Jos, we will have people out there that will scan you. You can't enter with bags because we need to check you to know what you're bringing into the place. I mean, we don't go to both churches and mosques. You don't go there freely. I don't remember, you can't drive into a premises like this. You have to park outside.
Because you're not safe.
You know, we are reacting towards something that's on people's road. When can we, you know, as a people, be proactive? That we can be proactive, not waiting for people to attack so that we can be reactive. You know, so we need to take that approach into our businesses. What can I do to start getting massive results concerning my business? You need to take initiative. We've been talking about cycles of concern and cycle of influence. You need to be able to identify your cycle of concern from your cycle of your influence. You need to be able to know that who are the people you have influence over. You know, with this third-party invitation, I mean, you can talk to the people you have influence over by not directly asking them to come on board. But you know, you're asking them if they know somebody. But you know, because you already have a good rapport, you have a good relationship with them, it will be easier for you to work with those people. And then you need to increase your cycle of influence. Do you have relationship with people? You know, some of us are just doing this business. We don't have relationship even with some of the people that are already on board our team. For me, Avenues to Wealth is a family. It's a family for me. I come to Lagos and I'm home because I have my family people everywhere in Lagos. You know, so we need to learn how to be proactive. I'll just quickly go through habit 2. You need to begin with the end in mind. For me, this is very key. Now, I was privileged to attend the 7 habit training in Jos when CM and his team came before I joined Avenues to Wealth. And for me, this really hits this message home, beginning with the end in mind. You know, we were asked to write down a list of about 1,000 plus on the first day, and then the following day, Usara said, no, make it 2,000. Names and phone numbers. Why? Because they said they need for us to begin with the end in mind. Why did you join Avenues? What is your why for being on board Avenues to Wealth? If you can begin with the end in mind, you don't need anybody to motivate you. You'll be able to run, and then you run faster, and you run with your team members. So we need to begin with the end in mind. What is your why for being on board Avenues to Wealth? What is your why? For you to begin with the end in mind, we need to know that everything is created twice. Everything is created twice. The seat we're seated on right now was created twice. You create first in your imagination before you can do your physical creation. So everything is created twice. For those of us who are already on board Avenues to Wealth, and we started without beginning with the end in mind, I will need for you to go back and sit down and write the reasons why you are on board Avenues to Wealth and what you intend to achieve in Avenues to Wealth. You know, for those of us who came in here because we began with the end in mind, even if I don't make anything, I know that there is a bright future ahead. If I don't earn anything this Monday, I know that next week Monday, something will happen because I have something I'm working on. But you see, because some of us, our motivation is just motivation to make money. So you don't make something this first week, you don't make the second week, and then you quit. So we need to go back to knowing why we are on board Avenues to Wealth. What are we creating? You know, in beginning with the end in mind, we'll just quickly look at these things. We need to know that everything, of course, is created twice. Either by design or by default? By design or by default? Leadership and management. You know, for me, leadership is key. Because if you begin with the end in mind, you will not wait for somebody to start a meeting place for other people to come and join. You will step in. Some of us stepped in. And you know, we are providing leadership and support for our team members. People walk into my office in Jos and they ask, is this the Avenues to Wealth office in Jos? I'll say yes. But guess what? There are several other places where meetings are being held. Why? Because I started with the end in mind. I don't know about you, but I'm not looking at Avenues to Wealth as at where it is today. I'm looking at it 10 years from now. Some of us seated in this hall today, I don't pray that you will fall out of queue. Because 10 years from now, some of our children will be asking us, where were you? I heard that this thing started. Why didn't you take it serious? So let's sit down and really know why we're on board Avenues to Wealth. Why? Let me create this opportunity twice. Let me create it in my imagination. Let me visualize seeing myself as a platinum, seeing myself as a global platinum partner. You know, when I joined, I thought it was platinum ship. Then I realized that we have GPPs, and I said, I need to shift gear, you know. That apart from being a platinum, you can be a global platinum partner, and then it comes with so many benefits. So let's begin with the end in mind. Where do you see yourself? What do you hope to achieve at the end, at the end of it? I remember when we were asked to write our mission statement. For me, I had to sit down to think. Because if you're beginning with the end in mind, you need to have a mission statement. And I'll leave this with us, that we all need to do that as an assignment. I'm sure Busaya will come up and he wants to talk about us also having a vision statement. Because we're talking about the 7 habits, we can't take away your mission statement and your vision statement. So we need to sit down and put down your vision statement. Vision is about self-discovery. Your vision statement, you need to be able to have that on ground. Because with it will be very easy for you to run. Before Busaya comes up to continue with the habits number 3, I need for us to know that we need to step up. Those of you who are in Lagos, you're privileged to have these wonderful people here. I mean, you have opportunities every week, every day, trainings are happening. Let's take advantage of it. I told Emma that, Emma, if you come to Jos, we'll kidnap you. Hey, CM is hearing it. You know, I said we'll keep her in Jos for 1 year. Because I personally perceive that the people in Lagos, you are not valuing what you have. That A2W Akiemi is here every day. Busayo is here, Solomon James is here, there are Parandos, Emeka, they are here every day. And you are not taking advantage of that to be able to move your business forward. Let's take a step further. Let's push this business. Let's break boundaries. Let's remove every form of limitation and excuses. Because the fact still remains that how you do one thing is how you do everything. Thank you.